Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. The title of the hymn intrigued me, but not nearly so much as where our musician had placed it. It was a new hymn for me, found in the new hymnal supplement called All Creation Sings. The hymn itself is named Let Us Enter In, and when I first saw the title, I thought, oh, there's a hymn about entering into worship to give God praise and glory. That's when the confusion started, because our musician had placed the hymn at the very end of our worship, in the part of worship focused on sending us out into the world. Then we sang it, and I love this hymn. It's not about entering into the sanctuary to worship. It is about entering the broken world in faith. Here are the words. Let us enter in to the song of thanksgiving and freedom. Let us enter in to the long line of people in need. Let us enter in to the strong mind that God is still living, healing, forgiving. Let us enter in. Let us enter in to the place where our God has preceded. Let us enter in to the face of the fear and the pain. Let us enter in to the grace of the love when it's needed. Death is defeated. Let us enter in. Let us enter into the heart of a world that is broken. Let us enter into the start of a hope we can share. Let us enter into the part where we call one another sister and brother. Let us enter in. This week we have been looking at important scripture in verses from 1 John, a small book near the very back of the New Testament. Not really a letter to a church. This book is something more like a sermon, and one of the key points speaks about the love of God. Particularly in chapter 4, there is verse after verse that speaks beautifully and eloquently about God's love. Today is no different, and we begin with where that hymn takes us. In chapter 4, verse 18, 1 John makes a profound observation. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. In phrase after phrase, the hymn I shared with you this morning speaks of a world caught in fear. The long line of people in need, the face of the fear and the pain, the grace of the love when it's needed, the heart of a world that is broken. Even the line about entering into a world where we call one another sister and brother implies that our world is not that. We are caught up in fear, caught in division and separation from one another. We live in a world of pain and love that is needed all around. We have different needs around the world, but we are all, in one way or another, in need. Yet still we are called to enter into the world with the love of Christ. Why? Because there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. It is the love of Christ that impels us out to enter the song of thanksgiving and freedom, no matter the fear. We are led to enter the world knowing that God is still living. We enter the world with a hope that we can share. And more importantly, we enter a broken world where God has preceded us. There is no need to fear, for we are loved by God. In the face of fear, God is with us. Finally, for this week, I have saved what may be the most important verse for last. In chapter 4, verse 19, we have the profound truth that is the foundation of our love for others, of our faith, and of our salvation. We love because God first loved us. God's grace is given as a gift, and it always begins with God and moves toward us. God acts over and over to save us. God sent Jesus, all in love for us. It's an amazing grace. We can't reach up to God, but God reaches down to us in love. Let us enter in to the world with the love of Christ. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.